coast or a snowy mountain road to be in paradise. Don't need diamonds or gold, all the pictures we've been sold. Paradise, it's a simple state of mind.
I am very grateful to have had such sunny weather the past couple days to enjoy the beaches around Forks. But this trip on the northern Washington coast is really just a preliminary scouting mission. Hopefully I'll come back for longer in the future. It's my first time around here, and I'm very excited to be going to spend a few days with one of my closest friends. So I have continued on, and now I'm in the Hoh rainforest, which, you know, is an environment I'm very used to, having grown up in the rainforest on Vancouver Island. It's still really nice in here. I do really love this type of environment. And I'm on my way to see the Hall of Mosses. Not the Hall of Moses, which is how I read it the first time, but I'm anticipating moss. Mosses, check. I got a little carried away with my walk up the river. It's really nice in the forest, but now I am hustling to get back to the van before dark. I actually would like to get to camp before dark. But it's been nice because I am in here late in the day, so I've actually had peace and quiet and solitude. Oh, there we go. I'm pretty much back now. Oh, it's also just starting to rain, so good timing on my part to call it a day and go spend the evening with Frank. Good morning. We stayed here at this campsite that's free with a Discover Pass, which I have, and I woke up to diesel smell, and the fuel line is leaking again, which is an issue you might remember from last year and the year before and probably the year before that. Anyways, I have a bunch of stuff here. Gloves, all sorts of fuel line and a new filter and everything. So I'm going to do that real quick, and then there's a cafe just down the road I'm going to go to for breakfast and a coffee, and then have a fun day of adventure. I stopped by the visitor center yesterday. They basically planned us our day southbound today with some stops and hikes to check out. So I'm excited for that. But it was really nice to get a good sleep in this morning after catching 2 sunrises, especially now that I'm dealing with a situation. There's the new fuel line installed. Everything all cleaned up. Thankfully, I had picked up all the supplies I needed to do an upgraded repair last time this happened, and I was like kind of hoping to do it before it became an issue, but it's become an issue about 2 months earlier than when it normally breaks. So anyways, it's fixed now. We can go on with our day. Frank's just being laying there, enjoying the moss. But look at this beautiful tree that I camped right next to. They have for dogs, I forget what they called it. It was like a pup something. And it's a hamburger patty cut up with 2 pieces of bacon cut up. I think Frank is shaking with excitement. I have come to my first stop of the day, and it is to see this, the Duncan cedar, which is the world's largest western red cedar. Honestly, it doesn't look very alive, but if you look closely, there are some living branches up high. So it is just barely hanging on. Oh, wow. Oh, there's some more lively bark on this side. Look at that. That's so cool. Oh, my love, oh, my love. 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 Well, I don't know where the end will be. All right, we have next up Ruby Beach Trail, one of the most photogenic beaches in the area. That's where we're headed. I'm having really good luck with the weather here on the Washington coast. As much as I do love the like moody, misty, foggy days at the beach, it is just real nice to enjoy it in the sun, to be able to use my camera, and yeah, basically just feel the sun on my skin, because I know there are times when that doesn't happen for quite a while. Decided to get a campsite at the campground here. So I have a really cool tree and I have a view of the beach. So that way I can hear the ocean all night and I can enjoy sunset here and sunrise without having to drive, which will just give me a more restful evening. I have a bunch of editing I want to do tonight, so saves me on driving. I do generally really try to avoid paying for campgrounds, especially when they're $24 US a night. But what I like about the national parks payment here in the US is that I can pay with PayPal. So it's not actually coming out of my bank account, and it comes from donations that you guys have sent me. So if you've ever sent me money from PayPal, thank you. I use it for stuff like this. Are you enjoying your grass, buddy? He's feasting on grass, which just affirms that camping here was the right decision, because it gives Frank some time to just enjoy laying and being outside, and you know, we're not like on the side of a gravel road or trying to be stealthy somewhere. So yeah, it's worth it for him. Alright, well that tree I showed you is called the Tree of Life. It's the one I came here to see. It's just hanging on by tendrils of roots. But the reason it's worn out below is there's actually like a creek that comes down, so the water's been eroding the earth, leaving the tree cradled like that. But right after I got there, this like a whole crew of people like mobbed down, and they were filming commercials, like shooting content for a Canadian clothing company. It was neat. I got to talk to a real life cinematographer for a while, so that was pretty cool. He was a nice guy, and yeah, it's been a nice sunset, and gonna go back, hang out with Frank, and just, yeah, rest my throat because these allergies suck. I'm kind of shocked I caught that sunrise. It was really nice. I got out of bed and like went straight down to the beach, and then Frank and I had a really slow morning. I had quite a rough night due to these allergies. And then the park person come by. They are closing the park today at 8 p.m. Whole place getting shut down because there's a storm coming in, and there's going to be apparently like 30 to 40 mile an hour winds, not winds, I don't know. So yeah, I've never experienced a park closing for a storm before. So, but that's okay because we weren't gonna stay here. We're actually headed into inland to go stay with a friend for the weekend. So I'm really looking forward to that. Really looking forward to showering and trimming these bangs, because last time I did it, I thought they were good and then they weren't. So you might have noticed a few videos where they looked a little rough. All right, I paid a visit to the world's largest western red cedar, and now I'm gonna go see the world record Sitka spruce. Yep, that's a big tree. It's kind of hard to get the scale of a tree like that across without me bringing my tripod so I could stand right next to the tree, but this one's a little busier. After filming this video, I ended up getting pretty sick. The allergies I mentioned were from a food substance, which is something I used to deal with a lot when I was younger, and I've mostly overcome, but because the oat milk in the US isn't very tasty compared to what we tend to have in cafes in Canada, I decided to try a flavored syrup. And that did not go over well, especially because that was the morning after sleeping with a pretty bad diesel leak, so that had already irritated my lungs, and then drinking the flavored syrup coffee just resulted in a pretty bad allergic reaction in my throat, and it ended up developing into bronchitis for a few days, but thankfully, I guess I have asthma also, so I had a powerful inhaler that really helped me get through that quite quickly. So It was pretty uncomfortable, but it didn't take away too much from spending time with my friend. And then after that, I headed into Oregon. I spent a week with family, and then I picked up a new roommate in the van, who Frank is adjusting to quite well. We've been having an awesome time, the three of us, traveling around Central Oregon. So those videos will be coming your way soon. But if you can't wait to see what we've been up to, I've been posting updates over on my Patreon, photo updates with written stories, and a bunch of aerial footage about to come out over there. So if you want to get exclusive access to that content, then consider joining my Patreon. Right now, through the end of November, I have a deal going where you can get 33% off your first month with code AUTUMN33. And the reason this code only goes until the end of November is because starting in December, I put my annual Patreon memberships on sale. So if you want to see if that's something you'd be interested in, use the code AUTUMN33 to give it a try now. My upcoming annual membership sale is something I do the first 3 weeks of every December, so it's a once-a-year sale, and it is the cheapest way to get in on my Patreon and guarantee yourself access to exclusive content for an entire year. And along with regular, exclusive, real-time posts, we also have a community chat where I just drop in and share quick updates. So using code AUTUMN33 to save 33% off your first month is a great way to see if you would like it to stick around for an entire year. With that said, a huge thank you to patrons and to channel members. If you're wondering what the difference between my Patreon and channel memberships are, well, channel memberships are monthly live streams and early access to videos, and Patreon is all of the exclusive posts, real-time updates, and access to the chat. So they are mutually exclusive, and to those of you that are supporting me through both, I really appreciate you. I use the funds from Patreon and channel memberships to help upgrade gear. Anyways, that's enough from me. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end, and I hope to see you in the next one in Oregon. Have a great day, and here's some Frank.